Hi, I'm Corey Elliott, Vice President of Research at Burrell Associates. Very first thing I want to do is the number one lesson I want you to take away from this presentation is on the next slide. So get your pencils out, your pens. You ready? This is it. Gordon, please pay attention. Everybody understand this. There is no apostrophe in SMBs. No apostrophe. There is not an apostrophe after an SMB. It is SMBS. That's it. No apostrophe. Understood? Great. Let's move on. So about this time of year, we get a slew of predictions happen, and they come from people like Burrell, maybe some people out in this room. We see them all the time at the beginning of the year. What's going to happen in 2018? We all have our opinions. There are posts and blogs all over about it. However, maybe there's a group we should listen to also who are predicting 2018. It's the people who are powering all of this, the people who are spending money on all of this. And that's the local advertisers, the SMBs. They're the experts because they're pretty good at knowing what they're going to do in the next year. These experts I'm talking about are members of our SMB panel. So you heard about the survey, right? We do that every year, thousands and thousands of SMBs. We also ask them to be part of our panel. It's a panel. We have hundreds of SMBs in this panel. Every year, we ask them a specific question. We gather the data back, give it back to them so they understand what their peers are doing, and we kind of internalize it. We don't publish a whole lot from this because we want to use it to build our model up. But there are some really good, interesting things in here that I think we should share with you. These guys are really good at predicting their own behavior. Let me show you what I mean. So back in 2016, we asked them about AR, I should say AR, VR, but about virtual reality. Are you going to use it? Is it going to happen for you? This is what they said. Not really. It didn't really happen, but they're honest, meaning they predicted themselves right. In 2016, way back there, we asked, will you participate in VR in 2017? 8% of them were 75% sure, 3% were 100% sure. So then we asked in 2017, 1 year forward, did you participate in VR? You said you might, maybe, what? Came back 5%, right in there between that 8% and that 3%. And of course we asked, so in 2018, are you going to participate? And they said this. So 5% probably, 14%, 1% were absolutely sure. So it's gone down a little bit. So that being said, let's move on to virtual reality is not at the forefront of a lot of SMBs' minds, but this is. And we asked back in 2016, will you focus more intently on fewer social media sites? They said, 71% of them said, yeah, I'm going to focus on one or two. Great. Move a year forward. Did you focus more intently on fewer social media sites? These guys said, yeah, 3, and 82% of our panel said, yeah, it was true, I focused more intently on fewer sites. Okay, what sites did you focus on? What are the 3 sites? Here they are, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, with YouTube making a play. Let me show you what I mean. Here's the total panel and what they said they used. 90% used Facebook, 43% Instagram. That's a hell of a fall off between 90 and 43%. You see YouTube down there at 22%. But check this out. We asked, are you going to increase your spend in these things? 61% of Facebook users said, yeah, we're going to increase spending. 51% of Instagram, 42% of Twitter. Check out the YouTube number. 69%. So there is a great interest in video, in online video, with local advertisers and SMBs. I'm not saying they know exactly what to do with it, but boy, the interest is there. Another reason I say this is we cut this total panel by just what we call master marketers, the people who know what they're doing in marketing or have had longer experience or more time with it. Here's what they said. So 100% of them are using Facebook. Doesn't mean that if you use Facebook, you're a master marketer. It means if you're a master marketer, you're probably using Facebook. But look how the YouTube number jumps up to 46%. So video is going to be important in 2018. So here's an outlook for 2018. It comes from we call it our Burrell Business Barometer. It is a series of questions that we ask every 3 months or so. Same question. So we get the same answers. Here's one of the questions. How would you characterize the current economic situation in the U.S. for sustaining a small business? In 2017, and February 2017, this was the answer. You had 39%, that's that 2 and that 37, together saying, yeah, I have a positive outlook about the future. We asked that same question again just last month in February 2018. Get your buttons ready. What do you think the answer was? Was it more positive or less positive? It is more positive. Over 50% of these guys said, yeah, I'm positive about the outlook. About 2018, thumbs up for me. Which leads to ad expenditures. When we ask, are you going to spend more? Yep, they are. They say they are, at least. Looking back at 2017, we said, what's the most surprising thing regarding your marketing campaigns? The number one answer was, well, we had better than expected performance. Okay, good for you. For 2018, looking forward, we asked, are you going to increase your budget? And 42% of these guys say they are. There's 53, it's a 5% swing. 53% said, no, we're going to keep it the same. 42% said, we're going to up it, which is really big in this space. Usually this kind of pie chart, it's almost 80% same, we're keeping it the same. To see that 42% is significant. So we talked about the future of social media with these guys, and we asked them their opinion. What do you think about social media? You're using it a lot. What do you think? What's the future? And they told us, yeah, it's undecided. I don't know. We asked, do you think social media advertising for your industry is a smart investment or a wasted effort or somewhere in between? 49%, half of them said it was a smart investment, 6% said wasted. That leaves 45% in between. Now, the reactions we got tell a lot about what they think. So you got people on both sides. On the positive side, great way to reinforce traditional advertising from a beverage retailer. On the in-between side, we have, we don't find social media as a tool for branding our business too much. Two different thoughts. Now, these are radically different verticals. You got a beverage retailer and a real estate agent. Even in verticals that are more closely aligned, an arts organization, graphic designer, not the exact same thing, but closer. One said, yeah, boosted posts, again, with video, see it right there, with video, are moving the needle. Meanwhile, the graphic designer said, I participate, but I'm not sure how to measure return. I don't know if they sound like that, but there you go. We also asked about certain predictions. These predictions we got from SMBs. We asked them for predictions, picked out the best ones, sent them back to the SMBs and said, what do you think? Is this going to happen? This was one of them. Facebook will lose steam in 2018 as other platforms begin to allow more advertising. Is that going to happen in 2018, Mr. and Mrs. SMB? Who the hell knows? That's why it came back. You had 41% of them giving it less than a 50% chance of happening. And 34% saying, yeah, it's probably going to happen. And what's interesting, of that 34%, right? We ask, okay, where's that money going to go, or where's it going to shift? Their biggest competitor, this is from what SMBs are saying, are Instagram and, can anybody name the second one? I didn't hear it. I heard YouTube. Good guess. Snapchat. Now, think about this. Why would they say that? Probably because most of SMB and local advertisers, or local marketers, I should be saying, local marketers, who do they have at home? Teenagers? Are they using Facebook, or are they using Instagram and Snapchat? I think they're reflecting what they're seeing around them. So what does this all mean for non-digital media? There's a storm brewing. This came from looking through the volumes of open-ended answers that we got. So there's no graph or a chart I can show you, but I can just show you entry upon entry of small business advertisers getting very, very angry or very, very frustrated by digital, and it makes a lot of sense. Because 4 to 5 years ago, they were doing it all themselves. It was great. They could pound a local media rep and say, why can't you give me the results I'm getting on Facebook? Look at all these posts. Look at all these likes. Look at all of these retweets. Look at what I'm doing. That's proving something to me you guys aren't. So why can't you guys do that? Now you flash forward to today, they've realized that those likes and those retweets don't necessarily add cash in the drawer. So, damn it, they were that close. They were that close. They thought they had the silver bullet, but now, damn it, they're back to square one. So here's the longest prediction ever. You don't have to read this whole thing. Just know that the prediction basically says, so with all these problems with digital, are you going to shift back? Do you think non-digital media is going to come back? That's basically what this prediction is. Do you agree or disagree with non-digital media coming back? Here's what they said. Ba-dum! Split. Absolutely split. 49% agree with that sentiment, 51% disagree. On the agree side, you have things like, this is hilarious. So on the agree side, I get solicited for digital advertising all the time, but the prices are out of control. Meanwhile, on the disagree side, radio and television costs are out of control. So, two different sides of the same coin there. Here's a couple other ones. I love this quote. I swear I didn't make it up, but I could go on a soapbox about this all day long. I just kind of did. I think advertisers have got so caught up in the ability to track results with digital that they let traditional media go, and now it's just confusing. But then on the other side, you have somebody saying, yeah, my company's tried radio advertising and we decided to stay away from it because we can't measure it. So that means there are people on all ends of marketing education. They're at different places in that journey with themselves. So, and of course, the answer is obviously, like this person said, somewhere in between. You all know this. This is nothing new to you all, but I think what you need to take away from this is that SMBs, yes, those little local advertisers are starting to teach themselves. They're learning this stuff. Stuff you know, they're starting to pick up. Okay, because let's remember where this all comes from. This, or where their business comes from. This is an older, one-year-old survey, or from our one-year-old survey. But we asked, where do you get what's your best lead source? Where do you get your new customers from? Here is the number one answer, referrals from other customers. Check out the rest of them to remind you. You've probably seen this before. Look at this. Referrals, company websites, social media, referrals, events. Then there's advertising. So those 7 things, they say are more important, drive more business than advertising. And here are the rest of them. But that's really important because you've got to spend money there too. Websites and social media and social media management ain't free. They've got to have some money. And they're understanding that it's more than advertising. That gets somebody to think they need a new couch, get their butt off the couch, go in and buy a couch, bring the couch home, and then brag about the couch. That's an entire continuum that goes up and down. And from source to source, and it's not just advertising. So, all this to say, the money an SMB spends to get somebody to do something, the couch buyer, can be put into 3 big barrels. And that's what we do. We put them into 3 big barrels. The first big barrel is advertising. It's exactly what you think. It's all those different media types, cable, TV, out of home, online, etc. You all know that. Second, we call it non-ad marketing. That could be promotions. Well, it is promotions. It could be coupons. It could be discounts. It could be event marketing, PR, research, everything else that I have to spend money on to get somebody to do something that isn't advertising. Then there's a third barrel, and that third barrel is digital services. Okay, so now I've got my website I've got to maintain, I've got the event I have to go to, and I got the ad in the newspaper. 3 different big barrels. Here's kind of what's happened, or here has what's happened in the last 10 years, plus a prediction for 2018 that I think is very important to understand. Let's start with advertising. So we're going to look at 3 different years, 2008, 13, and 18. This is total advertising, US. Okay? What you see here, I'll cut to the chase, up 35% since 2008. Yay, advertising! Now you see that it looks like 2008 and 2013 are the same number. Remember the chart that Gordon showed yesterday where advertising took that dip right after the recession? So you're looking at 2 points on either side of the dip. So that's why that's flat for you data geeks out there. But overall from 2008 to 2018, up 35%. Okay, great, good. Now let's add on that second barrel of non-ad marketing. See what happens in relationship to advertising. So we're going to drop it right on top of these columns. So there it is. Okay, just so you follow me, the green is still advertising down there. There's that up 35%. Now look at non-ad marketing. It went up 121%. Well, I remember that recession, that dip where advertising went down, that marketing stayed up. They learned that, wow, I can build my business back up, because there are a lot of people building their business back up, not on the back of marketing, or not on the back of advertising, as much on the back of promotions and non-ad marketing. And so they pump more money into it. Then, remember, we got a third barrel, digital services. Let's put that on top of this. It looks like that. Just to remind you, there the green is advertising, then you got the blue at 121, non-ad marketing. That purple is digital services. And if you look at the growth of digital services, up 147%. So, that's why you're hearing all about non-ad marketing, event marketing, digital services, because of the tremendous growth. A lot of us deal in that little green section called advertising when there's all this money being spent out there in the world on other things other than advertising. Again, to get somebody to do something. So, hey, congratulations. Last slide, perk up, because then you can throw me off the stage. Yay! All right. What will happen in 2018? 4 basic bullet points. Number one, remember, SMBs, right now, they're generally optimistic. They're looking forward to 2018. Looks pretty good to them. They're going to increase their budgets. Yay. That's good. The silver bullet of digital, and I know I'm standing on stage at the local online advertising conference. I know the irony there, but the silver bullet of digital, they think, might be silver-plated. Doesn't mean it's going away. I don't think that big swing back to non-digital media is, yay, it's all coming back. But at the same time, they have learned, it isn't the silver bullet we thought it was. And that has led to them needing help. You've heard about that in the last couple of days, about how local businesses need help with marketing and understanding how to get somebody to do something. Video advertising is poised to grow. This is, well, it's growing, but I mean really taking off in 2018. We see a lot of interest from SMBs in the open-ended comments about video. I want to bring back video. Video is a great way to stay in touch with my customer base, video. So watch that as far as the local space goes. And if you're in that business, that's a good business to be in. And last, and I can't harp on this enough, because I think a lot of people, I say stuff like this and a lot of people nod and say, that's cute, Corey. But I think it's what we get from the SMBs is direct communication with the customer is key. That's why those number one things you saw that drove new business were referrals, social sites, events, anywhere where I can touch my customer. That's what social taught me in the last 4 years. It's I can have a one-to-one relationship. Now I've got to leverage that, I got to maximize that, I got to optimize that, but that's what's key. That's what the difference is. You heard Jim talk about proving the ROI, talking one-on-one to customers or helping their clients do that. I think that's dead nuts on. I think that's right. Direct connection with their customer is key to these guys. And that's the other thing. Now I'm all geeked up. The coffee's kicking in. That's the other thing I think local media companies, because all of this boils down to the sales rep, right? Because that's the point of failure right there. We can be in this ballroom and talk about all the great things we have to do. It all comes down to the sales rep. Can the sales rep pull it off? And everybody has a different opinion about that and the training that goes on behind that. But that's the key right there. Somebody, a sales rep who understands marketing, understands that entire continuum, can help a local business do what they need to do, is going to win in 2018. And throw in some online video on top of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think it's a great year for 2018. I think you're in the right spot. I think if you expand your mind into these other areas that people are very interested in, you're going to do great. Get yourself some video. Talk to your customers. It's going to be a great year. Let's give it up for 2018, all right?